From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a huge afternoon with huge news about a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state, a Build Back Better Act coming, and a recession having already arrived. Oh boy, we were going well until we got to the recession part. Yes, the U.S. economy may already be in a recession today. We'll go over the breaking news about that and why you have to get that fourth stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. In fact, the latest details tonight reveal that analysts, stocks, bonds, and even oil and gas have now embedded a risk of a recession already in the economy into their pricing. We'll go over the latest details on what you need to know across the land. Then we'll be turning to the next part of the equation, which is a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. You need to get that incredible check because guess what? This economy's slowing. This economy's shrinking. This economy's turning in a different direction than it was just days ago. We'll go over the latest breaking news as well. Minutes ago, we had the Federal Reserve's brand new FOMC minutes revealed, and we'll go over what those FOMC minutes say and what it means for the month of July. The month of July, we'll have another interest rate spike, and we'll have the latest unemployment numbers. Later this week, we'll have the new jobless claims and job creations numbers. And in today's recording, we have the breaking news of the new labor numbers released from the Department of Labor. It's shocking. How many jobs are available per person that's unemployed? Jump in the live chat and post your comments right now and see if you get it right. But later in this recording, $100,000 fourth stimulus checks in every U.S. state. This is federal stimulus done by Joseph Biden back in the month of March. It's still there and you need to get it. It's big. You qualify. Single individual, $75,000 less. Married couple, $150,000 less. If you rent, if you own, you have children that don't, you need to get that money because inflation's here and recession may have already arrived as well. We'll be going over what you need to know with breaking news tonight about student loan debt forgiveness. This just happened minutes ago. And with this U.S. economy already in a recession, what could also be happening? Well, get ready. The Build Back Better Act is back, baby. In today's recording, we'll go over that Build Back Better Act that's back and what you need to know. It's a great recording, and what you need to do is go right in this video and become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP, and get those incredible four stimulus checks in every U.S. state as afternoon starts right now. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day for July 6, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. How are you? Make sure you become a member. Go right in this video right now and subscribe, number one. And number two, become a member where it says join the channel to get those stimulus checks in every U.S. state, nearly $100,000. Join the channel where it says Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP, and join today. I'm going to go over those incredible checks in just a second. The concern today is that the U.S. economy is already in recession and the pricing of that recession is in the markets. Where are we right now and what do you need to know? The breaking news starts this very moment. A fourth stimulus check has arrived in every U.S. state from Joseph Biden. It's executive order stimulus. It's federal stimulus. It's not state stimulus. $100,000. Single individual, $75,000 less, you qualify. Married couple, $150,000 less, you qualify. If you rent, if you own, if you have children, if you don't have children, and if you're on benefits like SSI and SSDI, these incredible checks, approximately $100,000 are in every U.S. state. They're coming up later in this recording. Stay with me. Go under this video, subscribe, become a member, and get ready for those checks. But let's lead first with the breaking news. The breaking news is the Federal Reserve's meeting notes from the June meeting have now been released. The Federal Reserve, of course, is your central bank, and those federal meeting notes say they're concerned that if inflation continues in this economy, Americans may believe these inflated prices are pervasive and permanent. This is very interesting. Now, remember, the Federal Reserve has a dual mandate to get maximum employment, the most of you employed, and to ensure price stability, which is another way to say get inflation down. But now they explain their concern. They're concerned that inflation has gone on so long that Americans may believe that the prices you're paying for goods right now, which are inflated, are the permanent prices of the goods for years to come. They want that mindset to stop right now. Members said the July meeting would also see a 50 to 75 basis point increase, and this is about to be announced in just days from now. The Fed minutes obtained by LA News today say the following. In discussing potential policy actions at upcoming meetings, participants anticipate the ongoing increases in the target range for the federal rate would be appropriate to achieve committee objectives. In particular, participants judged that an increase of 50 or 75 basis point would be appropriate for the next meeting. The next meeting is just days from now. Again, these are the June minutes from the Federal Reserve released minutes ago today, July 6, 2022. Participants are concerned that the economic outlook warranted moving in a restrictive stance, a policy, and they recognize the possibility that an even more restrictive stance could be appropriate if elevated inflation pressures persist. Does that mean potentially 1 percentage point? Yes, it does. So now we know that 1 percentage point is possible if inflation is pervasive. Here's also a fascinating quote. The minutes say many participants judge there's a significant risk of that elevated inflation could become entrenched if the public began to question the resolve of the Federal Reserve to get the stance of policy as warranted. So they are actually worried that the American consumer believe that these higher prices, which we've seen since the month of December, are here to stay on a permanent basis, and they want that to stop right away. They don't want you to think that the higher price you're paying for goods like bread or milk or eggs or gasoline are permanent, and they want to wipe it away right across the board. Of course, there's a lot of nonsense in there as well. It's the Federal Reserve. What else do you expect? They also said they're getting inflation down to 2% by the end of the year. Yeah, and NSYNC is getting back together. NSYNC reunion tour is happening tomorrow. Yeah, it's just not happening. Just ask JT. 2% inflation. Participants recognize the policy firming could slow the pace of economic growth for a time, but at 2% inflation remains critical to achieving maximum employment. It's not going to happen. They're going to get down to 4% later this year. I was the first to report that. I was also the first to report that the inflation for December 2021 was going to be 8%. It was, and that was not going to be temporary. It hasn't been. And there you go. Other breaking news today as well. GM shares falling dramatically as they revealed China sales for GM were horrifically low. The Detroit auto manufacturer only sold 500,000 vehicles in April through June in China because of their lockdown. And that's down 36% from the year earlier. And this is the worst number of the worst quarter that they had since the start of the pandemic. So they're trying to pivot across the board. Why is this number so important for you? Recession. When we talk about slowing economies, the concern is that there's other influences causing economies to slow. Is it gasoline? Is it now the China lockdown, which we just endured? The worrisome comment is mirrored also by a new Department of Labor statistic released minutes ago, attained by Allied News. The Bureau of Labor released the number of available jobs for the month of June, and it came in 11.25 million, considerable drop from the month before to 11.68 in April. But guess what? They said that the number of job openings to the number of unemployed people remained good. There's approximately 2 jobs available for every unemployed worker. On another front, we also learned today that the electric vehicle tax credit is expiring for now. For Toyota, it has already expired for Tesla and GM. This is a big problem, but this is also big support for the Build Back Better Act. Why? You're not going to be able to get that $7,500 anymore if you go buy an electric vehicle from Toyota or Tesla or GM, because that tax credit has been used up. They can only sell 200,000 cars at a particular period, and they've gone through that element. Meantime, breaking news about student loan debt forgiveness in just a second. This is why you need to get a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. A fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Found by this channel in the month of March, now in every U.S. state. And this is the incredible news that started back in March but continues to this day for July 6, 2022. These incredible checks were done by executive order by Joseph Biden, and these first stimulus checks are everywhere. Why? Because they are federal stimulus. They are federal stimulus. The President of the United States did in the month of March a series of executive orders, and in doing these incredible checks, you qualify for a lot of money. How much? About $100,000. Did you become a member? Go right in this video right now, because the members of this channel are cleaning up, and you should clean up as well. We're going to go over each of those wonderful checks in just a second, but let's first go over what happened. In the month of March, the President of the United States did a series of executive orders. Many of the executive orders involved removing checks from the Build Back Better Act and making them a separate piece of executive action. And now the viewership of this channel has been getting it for several months, starting the month of March all the way up to the present. How much? On average, about $100,000. And who qualifies? You do. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get them. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get them. If you rent, if you own, if you have children, if you don't have children, if you're on benefits, go get them. It's almost basically most of the viewership of this channel. Go get these huge checks. Now, here's what you need to know is that these checks are here available now. You want to get them now because the economy is slowing dramatically. And how quickly is this economy slowing? It's slowing so quickly that I can't even keep up with how dramatically this situation has changed. Let's take a step back. In the month of February, I was the only American financial news broadcaster saying or projecting that we are going into recession in 2023. I said that in February. At the time, no U.S. bank even dared even talk about that. In fact, when asked about the subject matter, they avoided the subject matter. Jamie Dimon, head of J.P. Morgan Chase, for months said he would never even discuss the subject matter. Then I detailed to you a series of phases. This graphic. I said the phases are the following. November to September, we're going to slow as an economy. Then September to January, a financial cliff. Phase 3 is the recession. But let's look and see what happened so dramatically and so quickly in just a matter of a few days. If you have not watched this channel, let's say before 4th of July, you're going to be shocked what has happened in just a few days. Right before 4th of July, the Thursday or Wednesday before the 4th of July, I was still saying we're going into recession in 2023, January. And most American broadcasters saying it's late January 2023. That was, not even a week ago, not even 5 days ago. Then what happened? On Friday before the 4th of July weekend, we had a major data released from the Atlanta Fed GDP Now. It's a division of the Atlanta Fed, and their tracking data is live. It's live. It was released just days after the month of June, which, as you know, the month of June ends the second quarter of the year. The data revealed that based upon their tracking, which has 100% accuracy over the last 20 years, the U.S. economy shrunk in the second quarter of this year. Second quarter of this year, they're projecting a negative GDP growth of 1%. Well, the first quarter of this year was also negative. That's already been confirmed because it already happened a while ago. 1.9%. That means 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. That means a recession. That is the definition of a recession. 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. The data that came in from them was on a Friday. Then, all last weekend, I reported to you the data and my statement to you that we're waiting for July 28th for the official announcement from the Department of Labor to reveal to us if it in fact was a second quarter of negative GDP growth. I said, you know what? I'm going to move potentially the financial cliff up from September to potentially July 28th, because I said, you're going to wake up July 28th and the American people are going to be told, hi, good morning, you're in a recession. And I said, imagine what's going to happen on July 28th. Well, look how quickly it's moved. First, the Friday before 4th of July, then the weekend of 4th of July, then yesterday, the first day of trading of Wall Street after the 4th of July weekend, Tuesday. Guess what happened? Wall Street saw the same data I saw, the same reporting I'm giving you, and they said the recession's already underway. We're not waiting for July 28th. We now believe the Atlanta Fed GDP Now number. They're betting the risk of a recession already underway, and that is why the Dow yesterday fell 500 points throughout most of the day, even though it rebounded later in the day. And that's why companies like J.P. Morgan and Wells Fargo down 2.5 and 2.7%. The banking industry is way down. The concern was that the belief that we had already entered a recession. The bond yields inverted. The 10-year and the 2-year bond inverted. What does inversion mean? When they flip and one has a higher yield than the other. What's the significance of an inversion in the bond market? It basically happens generally when a recession is also occurring. That is a big warning signal. Then the price of oil declined dramatically. People were sending me private messages all weekend long. Why is oil down? Today it's down as well. Today it's floating again about $100 a barrel international Brent crude. Why? Because they believe we're going into recession or we're in a recession, and they're embedding the slowing of the economy into less oil demand. Corporate earnings fell as well. Ford announcing 5%, fell 5% on the first day of trading this week when they projected downward on their growth and their earnings came in lower than expected. The comments came across the board, and then the oil market specifically got a big shocker when I and Goldman Sachs continue to reiterate our positions, which is that we're projecting oil to surge from $100 a barrel to $140 by the end of the year, as stated by Jeffrey Curry, global head of commodities research at Goldman Sachs yesterday. But also yesterday, Citibank said the exact opposite. They said it could fall to $65 by the end of the year. Not tomorrow, but by the end of the year. Because in a recession scenario, with rising unemployment, household and corporate earnings would chase a falling cost curve, falling, and deflate and margins and negatively drive down supply curtailments. Wow. Everyone's embedding a recession as of yesterday into stocks, bonds, and oil. Are you embedding it into your lifestyle? You should, because guess what? The financial cliff may not be September. The recession may not be January. Let me give you my opinion of the situation based upon the Atlanta Fed GDP now, based upon what the bond market, the stock market, and the oil market have done in less than 24 hours of trading. Based upon my projections, I'm going to go back to that original graphic I showed you. I am differing my opinion on the graphic now. I now believe that we are in a recession. I believe that phase one is the recession. But I believe the most profound and most evident examples of the recession will manifest themselves in January in phase three. Basically, I believe it qualifies as a recession now, but I believe you're going to see the hurt, the pain of a recession in phase three. I still am holding that the financial cliff is September 2022 in phase two. And what is a financial cliff? Let's go over that financial cliff for you, especially for a brand new viewer. Welcome to this channel. You found this channel because you need money. You need money right now because you want to be ahead of the game. Thank goodness. Americans, on the other hand, may not. Americans may be waiting for their backs against the wall, or may not even know that something's about to happen. That's a financial cliff. A financial cliff involves walking along, singing your song, and suddenly you're not paying attention to the economy. You think everything is perfect. You think I can go on TikTok and do a quitting my job video because I'm so happy about quitting my job. I'll be fine. There'll be another job for me. And then you quit your job, and then finally you realize there is no other job available for you. Unemployment is surging. 230,000 new jobless claims per week. We're going to see the latest number on Thursday this week as well. Friday, we're going to see the new non-farm payroll job creation numbers. Wall Street is looking for about 250. It has fallen dramatically from 260 to 280. Number three, layoffs, hiring freezes, and store closures are starting to hit, whether it's Tesla or Coinbase, across the board. And what's going to happen? Americans who think that the situation is great, they're going to get blindsided. And they're going to not be able to find another job. And then they're going to look for the stimulus of 2020. The stimulus of 2020 is gone. FPUC, that's $600 a week that goes on top of your unemployment benefits, gone. Those extra weeks of unemployment benefits, PEUC, gone. PUA, if you're an independent contractor, like Uber, Lyft, gone. Yeah, look how serious it is. What about small business owners? EIDL grant, EIDL loan, PPP, all gone. The narrative is they're all gone. Also gone from 2020 and 2021 is the way you did stimulus. A $600 check into your bank account by do nothing. Gone. Not happening. These puny little few $100 checks that aren't going to even fill up the gas tank at the pump are all gone. What's in replacement? Is me, you, and these incredible checks in every U.S. state. Approximately $100,000. You need to pounce and get them right across the board. Because if a financial cliff is coming, you need to prepare accordingly very quickly right now. What do you do to prepare for a financial cliff? You get as much money as you can, and you get that money and store it up because September is just around the corner. Look how quickly September is coming. If gasoline prices remain relatively high, the CPI will remain high, and then the Federal Reserve will continue to raise rates. If gasoline prices go down, then what? In the second half of this video, we're going to go over these incredible checks. What you do is you go right in this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. Get these incredible checks by becoming a member and staying in the second half and getting that incredible newsletter and pouncing across the board. We have breaking news on student loan debt forgiveness before the commercial break, and let me go over that breaking news about student loan debt forgiveness. It was, I read the news for this today, and I sort of, you know what I felt like? I felt like I had been used. I felt like I had been used. Why? Not that the student loan debt forgiveness announcement was bad and that we all thought it was going to be good. It was that there was no announcement. It was just like, what am I reading here? The Department of Education today announced, and specifically the Biden administration announced today as well, that they're going to make massive, sweeping change to the student loan debt forgiveness program. And I read, I'm like, okay, well, what are they? I read them. I'm like, okay, what are they? And you read, and you're just like, okay, when are you going to tell me the story? And there was no story. The takeaway is they say they're going to do something, but they aren't really telling you what they're going to do. Is that a little annoying? I mean, I just want to, I was going to say something. I just want to take a lobster and throw it on someone's foot. Here is what they're saying they're going to do. They're going to change how interest accrues. They're going to overhaul the public service loan forgiveness program. They're going to prioritize defrauding borrowers. Okay, great. How much debt are you going to forgive? I'm not telling you yet. So that's the breaking news on the student loan debt forgiveness. The net takeaway is that it looks like my reporting is going to be accurate. My reporting is that the announcement from the White House will happen before the August recess of Congress. Why am I projecting that? Because I just sensed Joe Biden wants Nancy and Chuck and Liz and everyone around his table when he signs this by executive order. He just wants the press opportunity. So I think he's going to do it before they go on vacation by the end of August. And what will that announcement be? It's likely to be $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness forgiven across the board for individuals who make $150,000 or less. There you go. What's important to understand is that the price of gasoline is going down today. Currently, right at this moment, the Dow is relatively flat. The NASDAQ is relatively flat. But for today, gasoline is down to about $100 a barrel, international Brent crude. Why, LA? Why is that happening? The traders on the gasoline front are trading down gasoline prices based upon the belief we are in a recession and that the hurt of the recession is round the corner, and Americans will not be driving if they're unemployed, if they have no money, if they're financially constrained. That's why they're pricing down the price of gasoline. Wow. Finally, the Build Back Better Act is back, baby. Yes, the Build Back Better Act is back. In the second half of this video, we have details of what is in there, what has survived, when the vote is, and what they're going to do. You know what the narrative is on this channel. You're not going to wait for the Build Back Better Act to pass because you need to get these forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. You need to get these forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state tonight because guess what? A financial cliff is happening potentially sooner than thought. That financial cliff could be September as I projected, but if the recession's already here tonight, that financial cliff could be just seconds away. If the U.S. economy is already in recession, you can't wait to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. You get it right now. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over these incredible checks. You know what you do. Step 1, go onto this video, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. Step 3, get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get those checks in every U.S. state. And I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as America's Most Loved Show at the midday continues. It's afternoons. See you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in a big second half of Afternoons LA for July 6, 2022. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It is a gorgeous day here along the coast in Santa Monica, California. Did you become a member during the break? I hope you did. Go right on this video right now if you have not and become a member. Join the channel where the button says join the channel. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. To get those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state, nearly $100,000. You deserve them. We're going to go over those incredible checks in every U.S. state, starting right now. What's important to remember is that this money has been around since the month of March. So you can't wait. And that financial cliff is just around the corner. You can't wait as well. And when the situation gets very bad in this economy, Americans are going to be looking for stimulus. And you don't want to compete with them. You want to get your money before everyone starts showing up and trying to get your money. Let's go over these incredible checks right now. First, what are they? They are federal stimulus. They are federal stimulus done by the federal government back in the month of March. These incredible checks are done by executive orders of the federal government, executive orders of the executive branch. And these big checks average about $100,000. They are not state stimulus checks. They are not from your states. So if you don't like your governor, you don't like your state, you don't think your state is helping, you're probably right. This is not money from your state. It's from the federal government. Number 2, the checks have been around a while. I detailed them the very first day they went live in the month of March. So you can't wait to get this money because it's not going to be around indefinitely. Money gets used up. Number 3, as longtime viewer Kat says, you focused really well on eligibility. I am. I want to make sure my viewers get this money. I care about you. I don't care about people who aren't my viewers. Why would I? I care about you and to make sure your financial independence and financial stability is here before the recession arrives, if it has not arrived already. So, single individuals, $75,000 less, go get them. Married couple, $150,000 less, you qualify. Go get them. If you rent, if you own, if you have children, if you don't have children, if you're on benefits like SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, and more, go get them. Longtime viewer Carol says, LA, you make it so simple. You make it so simple. You put in a simple newsletter, organize it up, and put in a bow on top of it. All they have to do is just go get it. Absolutely. And finally, it's important to remember that you need to get the checks right away and forget everything you learned from 2020 and 2021. It's a new year, and things are done differently. It's not going to land by direct deposit if you don't do anything. It's move to groove, learn to earn. And when you're ready to get this money, I'm ready to show you where to get the money. And it starts right now. The first check of many we're going to go over, I give a lettering system to it, and it starts with Check A. That wonderful Check A is a 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Marry couple, $150,000 less, go get it. How much is it? It's $6,500 to $12,000. It's called the Weatherizing Grand Check. And how do you get this? Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. Go right down into the membership link and get that membership signed up where it says join the channel and get the incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the member alert YouTube alert system. Then go right down that newsletter till you find check A, click the link, and go in and apply. You're not going to stop there yet because you're going to go get check B. Check B is wonderful. It is a $15,000 to $80,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you are on benefits, go get it. How do you get check B? You know the routine. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, go under the video where it says join the channel and become a member of LALATE. Step 3, get that LALATE membership newsletter Monday through Friday, delivered to you 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube member alerts for this channel. And then go down till you find check B in that newsletter and click the link. It sends you right into the nationwide website. You choose your state and you pounce, and there you go. Look how well we've done already. $12,000 and then $80,000 on top of that. My goodness, we are doing really well. We're nearly at $100,000. Absolutely incredible across the board. But you're not going to stop there yet. No, you're going to go get Check C. Check C is a wonderful MSC, monthly stimulus check. It's $2,000 the first month and at $2,000 thereafter for up to average about 12 months of checks. $2,000 on average over an average of 12 months, but many viewers are getting $45,000. It is absolutely wonderful, and a lot of viewers have gotten nearly $200,000 from Check C. Check C dates back to the earliest days of this channel. And then it became third stimulus, and it is a very important check as we go into the second half of this year. Why? Because these are the checks that Americans are going to need very dramatically and very quickly. Americans are going to get evicted, and there is no eviction moratorium, and they're going to need assistance for rent. Go get Check C. Americans are going to face mortgage foreclosure, and there's no mortgage forbearance anymore. Go get Check C. Americans are going to face utility services being turned off because they cannot afford the heating oil, the gas bill. Go get Check C. And the success stories of Check C date back to this channel, and they continue to come in on a regular basis. Viewers of this channel continue to get checks, and that's what you should do as well. Look at these incredible numbers. From Nisi at $20,000 all the way up to Elizabeth at nearly $30,000 for rent, go get Check C. For utilities, from $5,000 for Angela all the way up to Nancy and Mark's brother-in-law getting $15,000, go get Check C. $25,000 a year over 10 years for SNAP, go get Check C like Mark's brother-in-law. And combinations, there you go. There's Nisi at $23,000. She's grown that to $50,000. Mark, he was at $32,000. He's grown that to $166,000. And Lorraine, she was at $105,000, and she grew that to $150,000. That's how you rock and roll. The situation at hand when you talk about these wonderful checks are that you get them, and then you continue to get them, and you continue to get them. How do you get Check C? Go under this video, subscribe. Go under this video, get that membership newsletter, signed up, become a member, get that newsletter. Go down to where it says Check C. It'll tell you where to call, what to say, and how to say it. Let's recap 3 things you want to do. First, you want to subscribe to this channel. There's a button on the video where it says hit the subscribe button. Number 2, you want to become a member to the channel. Right under the video where it says join the channel, click the button and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Number 3, there's a little bell at the front of this channel. Hit that bell to make sure your notifications are set all to on. And then get that newsletter. Now, the newsletter is delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, written by me and sent to you via the YouTube alerts at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're not on the West Coast, learn what time zone you are because it's 7 o'clock on the West Coast. Figure out what time that correlates to where you live. Number 2, it's sent to you via the YouTube alert. So you go down the alert for that time at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then it'll say new LA post. The first line will have LA newsletter. You go down the alert, it says click here to go to the post. You go right in and you pounce. You pounce and get these incredible sums of money. And there you go. That is the wonderful forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Now, what's important to understand is that Americans will not survive the financial cliff. If they believe the federal government is going to bail them out, they're not going to get bailed out by the federal government. Americans are not going to survive the financial cliff if they believe that this is 2020. It's not, it's 2022. If they believe this is 2021, it's not, it's 2022. Americans will not pivot and will not survive financially if they are not preparing themselves accordingly. You're not going to do that. You're going to prepare yourself accordingly. How? Number one, you're going to remove as much excess costs in the household that you can. You're going to remove anything that has flexible interest rates like car loans or credit card debt. And then you're going to get as much money as you can. And that involves beefing up the stimulus, getting as much stimulus as you can, and go right in on this video and becoming a member and getting that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Because look at this graphic, which is days away from a change of this economy. You want to become a member right now and get these checks, approximately $100,000. Now, let's turn to the exciting details of the Build Back Better Act. The Build Back Better Act is back, but is it better? Let's go over the details of what you need to know, starting right now. The Build Back Better Act is back, and we know a lot about the voting, the negotiations, and the substance. We're going to go over all those details starting right now. First, let's go over the voting. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi represent that they will call us to a vote by the end of July. Now, let's assume they're being accurate. Let's assume they can actually get that pulled off. Are you going to get a forced stimulus check in time for the financial cliff? No, it's going to come too late. So that's why you can't wait for it. Number two, the negotiations are going really well. Just days ago, the four corners with the two leading Democrats in the House and Senate met and agreed upon the framework. Done. Number three, the negotiations between Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin continue on nearly a daily basis, as recorded on this channel for several months. But we learned days ago a major breakthrough, a major agreement between the two men, and it's on cheaper prescription medication. It got in there. So is this Build Back Better Act going to get passed? Absolutely. And who's telling us that? Not just me, but Republicans. Republicans are ramping up their hatred of the Build Back Better Act in new statements because they say it's very close to getting done. And when they do that, you know it's going to get done. With that, they're also giving us details of what they claim are in the Build Back Better Act. They claim, this is Republicans, these are haters of the Build Back Better Act, claim it's going to have a July passage, it's going to be a smaller bill, and it's going to have many different checks in there. And they all say that's bad for the American people. Let me go over my analysis of the situation based upon their comments. Again, first, they are the ones, the Republicans, claiming it's a smaller bill. We do not have the confirmation for Chuck Schumer or Joe Manchin. They, the Republicans, are claiming the bill is now about $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion. Not confirmed at all. No Democrat has confirmed that price tag. Number three, they're claiming a lot of the provisions I've talked about before on this channel for several months are still in there, like the $12,500 for the new electric vehicle, like the child care credit, like a lot of the health credit. They even claim there's a $6,000 check in there for seniors towards health benefits. That's what they claim. Now, if they, the Republicans, are accurate in their trash talking the Build Back Better Act, let me go over something you need to know. If a bill is $1 trillion in size, if it's $1 trillion in size, the whole bill, there's room to get one stimulus check in there. And stimulus check by, I mean, a non-program stimulus check, where it's just the pure IRS stimulus check, where the IRS sends it out. There's room to get one. There's not room to get $7,000 of stimulus checks per person. There's just not at a $1 trillion price tag. It's just not enough room. A $1 trillion price tag doesn't cut it because it costs about $3,000 for a $3,000 check. It costs about $500 billion, and you're not going to consume half of a bill with just a $3,000 stimulus check. So let me tell you my takeaway based upon the Republicans' claims. Again, the Republicans may be totally wrong. If they're totally wrong, then just throw this out. If their claims that the Build Back Better Act will survive at a $1 to $1.5 trillion price tag, then there will first be lots of checks in there for you. There will be multiple checks in there. A check for this program in there for you, a check for that program in there, a check for this program in there, just like third stimulus. Just like what we just went over with check A, B, and C. Notice how I'm showing you a check over here, check over there, check over here. A, B, and C, we're putting it together to get lots of money. That's how Build Back Better Act would work. Number two, there would not be enough room to do a monthly reoccurring check to every walking American citizen. It would not have enough room if the Build Back Better Act is 1.5 trillion or less. Takeaway is that the totality of the Build Back Better Act is covered on this channel for the last 2 years, is likely to survive if the price tag is 1.5 trillion, but that will pay the viewership of this channel really good money, and that people who don't do much but just sort of watch the bank account won't be potentially as happy. $15,000 for $15,000 to $80,000 in the Build Back Better Act of checks for you, yes, that would likely still be there. $25,000 for the purchase of your first home, yes, that would still stay there. $250 billion of free home health care, yes, that could likely survive as well. But if the Build Back Better Act is $1.5 trillion or smaller in size, and we don't know if it is, we're just going off the Republicans' claim it is, then there's not enough room to do a monthly stimulus check. There is enough room to do multiple checks. That's a different MSC, multiple checks. We're going to have all that hazard pay, the $4,000 of elder care, the $4,000 of care for young children, the car, the nutrition. We're going to have the seniors checks, the dental, the vision, the hearing. We have room for all of that in there. What looks better? Clearly, what looks better right now is the forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. The forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state right now of $100,000 are far better than anything that's in the Build Back Better Act. They're better because, one, they come in a better time because there's a financial cliff. There's a financial cliff. There's a cliff in this video. Look at the cliff in that video footage. There's stairs to the cliff, but we're not going to take the stairs. We're not going to walk up those stairs, or we're not going to walk down the stairs either. It's a financial cliff. You need to get these checks right now. Number two, the financial cliff is moving so quickly, folks. The recession is approaching so fastly. You can't wait for the Build Back Better Act. Number three, the checks I got for you now are a lot more money and a lot easier to get. $100,000. You don't wait. Remember, that recession may already be underway, so you can't wait to pivot left and right. Tonight on Evenings LALATE, we're going to go over more about a very confusing equation, which is what happens if gasoline prices remain lower, not higher. What if gasoline prices remain lower for the month of July? Does that mean the Federal Reserve is not going to come in as aggressively on those interest rates? This is really interesting because remember, the CPI is composed of gasoline prices. Well, gas remains low, as it's been really low for now a week, almost 2 weeks. Does that mean the Federal Reserve does less aggressiveness in that July FOMC meeting just days from now? And if they are less aggressive, then do we avoid the harms of a full-on recession? Fascinating, and you're going to see it tonight on Primetime in Evenings LALATE. Step one, become a member. Step two, get that incredible newsletter. And step three, get the big sums of money in every U.S. state. Join me tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for Evenings LALATE, and join me at 5:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for LALATE Live. Meantime, get ready, because coming to this channel in less than 90 days is a brand new LALATE. It's hard to sort of tease something without revealing too much. It's just really hard. It's really hard to, but let me just tell you, it's big. It is a big thing. It's the biggest overhaul of LALATE since this channel launched. So you're going to be ready to subscribe in a couple places. So get ready for the bigger and bolder LALATE coming very quickly. What is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Let's replay that part of where he said subscribe in a couple places. Get ready for the bigger and bolder LALATE coming very soon. I will see you tonight on Evenings LALATE. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LALATE for more.